It's summer here in Norway, and I just had an amazing Piel de Sapo melon, and I feel like crap. So today I want to talk about why I don't eat melons. Alright, so I want to start this video with a little bit of a disclaimer, because obviously I do eat melons sometimes, right? And whether or not you should eat melons, that's up to you. So I want to dive in today and talk about why I avoid melons most of the time, and why. So first of all, melons. They're amazing. I mean, a good melon is really good. I mean, this was a really good one. Piel de Sapo, I think they're called Santa Claus melon in America. You know these ones. Really good. This was a good one. I typically don't buy them. I came to the store yesterday and I was just like, oh, they had a huge container full of these and they looked amazing, and I was like, okay, I need one of those, because even though I don't usually buy them, I wanted one. They looked good. And I was right. It was one of the best ones I've had. Super sweet, very delicious. But there's a problem. And again, disclaimer. This problem affects some people, probably. It certainly affects me, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't affect everybody. So you might not experience the problem that I'm going to explain to you now. And if you don't have this issue, then good for you. But if you do experience the symptoms that I'm going to explain to you now, you might want to lay off the melons. Okay, so for 7 years now, I've been eating a fruit-based diet. For the first few years, it was all raw, and I was eating a lot of melons for those years. And yeah, a lot. I mean, I was eating it almost every day for a couple of years. There was a problem though. Every time I ate Piel de Sapo melons, cantaloupes, those sort of melons, rock melon, I would get an itchy throat. Sort of while I was eating it, and then it would progress, and then about an hour after the meal, which is where I am right now, like I ate breakfast about an hour ago, it's almost like I have a sore throat. And that's not the worst of it. The worst of it is that in addition to the sore throat, I actually feel kind of like I'm sick. Like my whole body is sort of like, like aching. Is weird. So I'm thinking it's some sort of immune reaction, essentially, to the melons, aka allergy. I'm allergic to melons. I'm guessing that's what it is. I don't know what it is, but I'm guessing that's what it is. Some people say, oh, it's the sugar. It's so sweet that it'll burn your throat. I don't buy that, because I have other fruits that are super sweet, like the Pakistani mangoes here. Super sweet. They never burn my throat. When I'm out running, I drink pure sugar water. I just have pure sugar and a little water, and I squeeze it into my mouth and I swallow. It doesn't burn my throat, alright? Pure sugar. So I don't think it's the sugar, and it happens specifically with melons. Not watermelon though, but these types of melons. Burns my throat, makes me feel kind of sick for about a day, 6 hours at least. So really, for the rest of the day today, I'm gonna feel like crap, kind of. You know, my energy is high, I feel good overall, but I have this achy feeling in my body and a sore throat. So kind of an allergic reaction. And you know, I've tried a lot of melons, and I've had a lot of good ones too, and this was a really good one. Still causes me problems, so I don't think it is an issue with ripeness, you know, I don't think so. Anyway, I wanted to throw that out there. You know, if you are experiencing similar symptoms eating melons, you might want to consider avoiding them. Okay, let's get into some other little things about melons that might make you want to avoid them, okay? Well, you know, the biggest issue is that it's difficult to find good ones. Apart from the fact that I'm kind of allergic to them, I'm gonna empty that out. I don't actually buy melons, and even back in the day I was skeptical, and I was growing more and more skeptical to the melons, because I was never able to find good ones. There's so much poor quality fruit out there, and melons are notoriously picked early. the reason I bought these ones was because I came to the market and it was just like, whoa, like they were just like, bam. I could see that those are good ones. Huge, well developed, good color, nice big yellow patch. There it is. Nice big yellow patch means it's been lying in the field for a long time, ripening. When I see good fruit, I buy it. And so I bought it today. And the taste experience was excellent. One of the best I've had in a while. Like amazing taste. But then there's the symptoms that I just talked about. But that's a problem overall. If you're consistently looking for good fruit and you want to have melons as a staple in your life, I'd say that's pretty difficult because you're not able to actually find that right fruit. But that depends on where you live, etc. So you particularly might be able to find it, but in general it's difficult. The other issue with melons is their calorie density. They're fairly low in calories compared to something like bananas, for example. You know, bananas, these are ripe bananas. And if you want to learn what a ripe banana looks like and how to ripen them properly and stuff, you should check out my little banana book. I'll put a link to it there. Bananas are calorie dense, so they satiate very well. When I'm eating bananas, I get to a certain point and I'm satisfied. I'm happy. Same goes for mangoes, jackfruit, cempedak, cherimoyas, sweet fruits. But when it comes to stuff like peaches, they're sort of in the gray area. But definitely melons, and even more so watermelon, they're just a bit too low in calories to really satisfy my caloric needs. So I end up having to eat a very large volume. Like this melon, I ate the entire thing for breakfast. Probably about 1.6 kilos of edible portion. That's not like crazy much, but it still means that I'm pushing my stomach capacity to a pretty, I'm pushing the limits a little bit and feeling very full. And I don't like that very full feeling. And the interesting thing is that even though I was very full, and I am very full, I'm still not feeling 100% satisfied calorically speaking. This of course will depend on your calorie needs. I mean, I burn about 3,500 calories a day, sometimes over 4,000 calories a day when I'm running a lot. If you like running, you can check out my running channel. Put a link to it there. So I'm burning a lot of calories, and so naturally I have a need for more calorie dense fruits, which is why I eat so many bananas. They really work well for me. I remember back in the day eating a lot of papayas when Mads and I were in La Palma, first starting our raw vegan journey. And there was a lot of papayas, but they were really poor quality papayas, or not always, but sometimes. And even when they're good, they're quite low in calories. We were fairly active, and so we had to stuff ourselves to the absolute max every time we ate, and it just, even though you're completely full volume-wise, you're not satisfied calorie-wise. That's the case for a lot of people, especially if you're active. So that's why I don't eat melons most of the time. Even if I didn't have this allergy thing going on, it's just a bit too much volume in my stomach for not enough calories. It doesn't give me enough bang for my buck, if you know what I mean. So I usually go for bananas instead. And as I said, watermelons, all of the things I've mentioned except the allergy, is even worse when it comes to watermelon. It's even more difficult to find a good watermelon than it is to find a good Piel de Sapo melon. It's even more difficult to stay calorically satisfied with a watermelon than it is with a Piel de Sapo melon. Okay, so watermelons, again, but they're a treat though. Like when you find a good one, like when you really find a good watermelon, I rarely find a good watermelon here in Norway, but if I do, wow, that is so good. I love just like going crazy shoving my face with a watermelon. There's nothing quite like it, but it would have to be on a day where I'm not training hard, because I'm going to be compromising my caloric intake when I'm eating that food. So maybe on a rest day I might have watermelon for breakfast, right? Delicious, and luckily for me, no allergy reaction there. But these though, it's been a while. It's been over probably 2 years since I had a melon like this last, and I was really excited about it then. I was like, I'm wondering what will happen with my allergy situation, because it was so good, right? So I was thinking, maybe it's fully ripe and it won't actually aggravate it. I won't get an allergic reaction, but I did. So again, my throat is sore and I'm not feeling very good. And it's not just like a coincidence. I've tried this consistently. I've probably done this experiment like, I don't know, 300 times, 600 times, a lot, okay? So I have experience in this matter. Anyway, let's wrap it up. I'm not saying that you should not eat melons, okay? I think they can be a really good food. It's questionable though. I mean, they're not tropical fruits necessarily. Maybe they don't have exactly what we need, but I haven't really looked into the melon nutrition all that much, so I can't really say. The truth is though that they're delicious, they're hydrating, they're sweet when they're good, and I mean they're cool. So if you're into it, and if you're able to source good melons, and if your calorie need is not like crazy high, or if you're just cool with eating a lot of volume, and you don't have an allergic reaction to them, well, good for you. Go ahead and eat melons. Me though, personally, I don't typically eat a lot of melon, as you've understood by now. On our website, sweetnaturalliving.com, we have a bunch of articles. I'll put a link to the page here. Some of them are about raw vegan diets, some of them are about fitness, some of them are about happiness, things that are just typical topics for this channel. So go ahead and check out some of those articles. You might want to sign up to our newsletter where you get that article every month, a new article. We also have a Patreon page where we offer exclusive content. I even have a coaching option there, so if you're interested in like monthly coaching, you can get that over at Patreon. And if you're interested in like one-to-one Skype coaching, one-off sessions or packages like that, I also offer coaching via Skype. There's also a link in the description, I guess, to our website. So check out some of those links in the description. Subscribe if you haven't done so already, of course. Let me know in the comments, do you eat melons? Do you like them? Are they working for you? Do you have issues with them? Thanks for watching. Have an awesome day, and I'll see you around.